My baby! My baby! Someone save me!
Well, I think potato is the best vegetable.
You are absolutely right, Your Majesty. Potatoes are certainly the best. Oh, yes. Potatoes can be cooked and had in so many different ways. One can have them for lunch or for dinner. They are certainly the best vegetables.
I don't know a single soul who doesn't like potatoes. They are everyone's favorite vegetable. I can never get tired of eating them. Birbal, as usual, you are quiet. Don't you agree with us?
My apologies, Your Majesty. I do agree that potato is a very tasty vegetable.
Oh, so you do agree that potatoes are very tasty. But you don't think that potatoes are the best in vegetables, do you?
Your Majesty, I agree potatoes are tasty, but one can certainly get sick of eating potatoes.
There you go, contradicting my opinion once again. Why do you have to do this all the time? Everyone here agrees with me, but for you alone.
Your Majesty,
Your Majesty, all of us are of the opinion that what you are saying is absolutely right. You could never get tired of potatoes. Birbal, as usual, is just trying to be different.
Yes. Birbal, sometimes I really wonder, why do you have to do like this?
Your Majesty, I'm extremely sorry to have offended you. But I definitely do feel like all of God's creations, potatoes too are a very good gift for us. But one can't live on potatoes. There are many such wondrous marvels and delicacies that have been created for us.
God created? You speak as if your God himself came down and created all these marvels? Well, probably he did, just like your numerous gods coming down to earth for the most trivial of tasks. And I really don't understand, how come you have so many gods?
Your Majesty, I can't tell you which of our God created potato. But the answer to your second question is, in Hinduism we almost worship all of nature's creations as an equivalent to God, and hence so many gods, so to speak.
That's not the complete answer to my question. But there's also something else in your mythological tales that seems foolish to me. Why do your gods themselves come down from the heavens to help common mortals? Why don't they send someone else? After all, they are gods, aren't they?
Your Majesty, I don't have an answer to this question of yours right now, but do give me a couple of days and I shall answer your question, Your Majesty.
Birbal, I don't think you can come up with any satisfactory answer to this question, just as you haven't convinced us that potatoes are not the king of vegetables. But you can try, and I shall eagerly await your response to this query. Birbal, how do you like this food today?
Oh yes, Your Majesty. The food is delicious.
Guard, get the cook in here right now.
What's the matter, Your Majesty?
Nothing.
Your Majesty,
What have you made for dinner?
is there something wrong with any of the dishes, Your Majesty?
You tell me what's wrong. Why don't you describe the dishes you have cooked?
Well, as a starter, Your Majesty, I have made pickled potatoes. This dish is called dum aloo. That is stuffed potato with red potato gravy with fried potato chips for accompaniment. Then we have potato salad with sweet potato for dessert, Your Majesty.
Well,
Well, Your Majesty, I have tasted each of the dishes myself. They're all perfect, Your Majesty.
yes, they are perfect. But why are they all potato dishes? Why isn't there any chicken or mutton on the table? Am I to eat only potatoes?
Your Majesty, I was told you love potatoes very much and like them in any and every form. Hence, I cooked such a variety of potato dishes for you, Your Majesty.
Yes, I like potatoes. But that doesn't mean that I should eat just potatoes. I am feeling sick just looking at all these potato dishes. Who asked you to cook only potato dishes?
I did, Your Majesty.
Birbal, are you out of your mind? Why would you do that?
I apologize, Your Majesty. But earlier today you were discussing the merits of the potato. And you said you could have potatoes anytime and every time in whatever form they are cooked.
All right, Birbal, I get your point. One can't just survive eating potatoes all the time. All right, enough punishment for me today for arguing with Birbal. May I please have something other than potato on the table now?
Certainly, Your Majesty, right away.
Birbal, don't be too pleased with yourself. You still haven't answered my question about your gods as yet.
Your Majesty, I haven't forgotten your question. You shall have your answer in a day or two.
Oh, you sound so sure of yourself. But I don't think you can come up with any convincing answer and satisfy me. That's good. It's so pleasant to be outside. Even the Queen and my son are enjoying the outdoors today.
Yes, Your Majesty. You're certainly right. It's quite cold in the evenings though. And the water's nearly freezing even in the day. I think the winter is coming early this year.
Birbal, what is that maid doing? Why is she walking so close to the edge of the water?
The prince!
You stupid woman! My son! My prince! My son!
Oh, my baby! My baby! Someone save him! Oh, please let him be alright.
My son! Oh, my prince!
Give him to me. My baby. My poor son. Oh, what happened? I hope nothing's wrong. Oh, my... Oh, what's this?
What does this mean?
Your Majesty, allow me to explain.
You were behind this cruel joke?
1,000 apologies, Your Majesty, but the prince is just fine.
Birbal, you better have a very good explanation for this cruel joke, or I shall banish you from my kingdom.
Your Majesty, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. I apologize again for the anguish I have caused to you and the Queen.
Well, if it wasn't meant as a joke, then what was your purpose behind all this?
Your Majesty, would you answer one question for me and then I shall explain all to you.
You want to question me? All right. But you are really trying my patience now. Go ahead.
Your Majesty, when you saw the baby fall into the water, why didn't you wait for the several guards or the maids or even one of us to first jump into the water and save the prince from drowning? Why did you, the emperor himself, jump in first?
What sort of question is this? Would any parent wait around and watch while his child's life is in peril? Would any parent rely on someone else to save their child?
Exactly, Your Majesty. You have said it so well. No parent would wait and watch while his child's life is in danger. And we are all God's children. Every time one of us is in real danger, we call out to him. He doesn't wait around to see if there is any servant to do the job. He himself comes down immediately to save us.
Birbal, you certainly have given the most convincing answer to my question. And you have made me answer my own question. Bravo. But you shall not get away without punishment for putting the Queen and me through this anguish. You have to take care of the prince for one whole day for playing this joke on us.
That is not a punishment, Your Majesty. It would be my pleasure. Thank you for the honor. my god! That was the Emperor's favorite vase! He shall surely punish me now. What should I do?
God,
Yes, Your Majesty.
where has my vase gone? Don't tell me it's missing again.
It was here when I let in the servant for cleaning, Your Majesty. I shall ask him right away.
Yes, call him in right away. Where's my vase gone? You were here last, so tell me, where's it?
Your Majesty, I took it for cleaning.
Cleaning? Why did you take it out of here for cleaning? Go and get it back right now.
Your Majesty, please forgive me, Your Majesty. Actually, I accidentally dropped it while cleaning and it broke.
You broke it? But you just said you took it out with you for cleaning. I would have forgiven you for accidentally breaking it, but I shall not forgive you for lying. I hate lies and liars. You are banished from my kingdom. Guard, escort this man out of here.
Please forgive me, Your Majesty. I was scared, so I lied. Your Majesty, please forgive me, Your Majesty.
So I banished him from my kingdom. I just can't bear the thought of having liars around me. One should always speak the truth.
You're absolutely right, Your Majesty. One should never lie. Honesty is the best policy.
Yes, absolutely. Tell me, has any one of you ever lied?
No, Your Majesty. Never, Your Majesty. Lies, never. Not at all. I hate lies. I can't lie. I don't know how to lie.
Birbal, what about you? Have you ever lied?
I may have lied at times, Your Majesty.
You mean to say, Birbal, I have a liar as one of my jewels of the court?
But, Your Majesty, one needs to tell a white lie sometime or the other. I'm sure everyone lies or has lied, not with the intention of deceit or fraud, but for avoiding hurt or pain.
No. I don't believe one needs to lie about anything or under any circumstances. And I cannot tolerate and live with the fact that one of the most important members of my court is a liar.
Your Majesty,
No. I don't want to hear anything. I can't have different standards for different people. I cannot continue to have you holding an important position in my court, Birbal. I hate lies and liars. I dismiss you from my court. Please leave and don't ever show me your face again.
as you wish, Your Majesty. Sevakram,
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
go to the market and find the best jeweler in town. Ask him to make a similar sheaf, but of gold. Everything right from the stems to the grains should be of gold. But the sheaf should look like a plant. So find the best jeweler who can do this and get it made.
Birbal, I asked you to never enter my court or show me your face again. How dare you go against my orders?
Your Majesty, I'm sorry I didn't mean to disobey your orders and show disrespect to you.
Why are you here then?
Your Majesty, you may have dismissed me from the court, but I still consider myself a loyal subject of your kingdom. I came across something that shall make our kingdom the richest one in the whole world. So I thought I should come and show it to you.
Really? What is it that will make our kingdom the richest one in the whole world? Show it to me. Huh? This is pure gold.
Yes, Your Majesty, it is pure gold.
But what is the meaning of this? And what are we supposed to do with it?
Your Majesty, this sheaf of gold was gifted to me by a monk who had returned from the Himalayas after years of meditation. He got it directly from the gods as a gift. He said if we plant it in the most fertile land in our kingdom, then we could raise crop of gold.
Birbal, how can you be sure?
Your Majesty, this monk was no ordinary one. After gifting me this sheaf of gold on the banks of the lake where I met him, he crossed to the other side of the lake by walking on water.
Walking on water?
Yes, Your Majesty, I couldn't believe my eyes. But that's exactly what he did. Just as easily as we walk on the ground, he just walked on the water and crossed the lake.
Well, Birbal, don't waste any more time then. Find the most fertile land in our kingdom and we shall plant this sheaf there.
Your Majesty, I have already done so. I know the place where the land is the most fertile. I could take you there myself.
All right then, we shall plant this sheaf tomorrow. Be here in the morning and we shall leave together. You can tell others where this ground is so that they can also come there to witness the planting of this sheaf of gold.
Your Majesty, this is the place.
Well, what are we waiting for then? Go ahead, Birbal. Plant it.
No, Your Majesty, I can't plant this sheaf of gold.
You cannot? What do you mean, you cannot?
Your Majesty, one can only plant this sheaf if he or she hasn't spoken a single lie ever. If a liar plants the sheaf of gold, it will not yield anything. And I've already told you, I may have lied at times in my life.
All right then. Why doesn't one of you come forward and plant this? I don't believe this. We don't have a single honest person who hasn't spoken a lie.
Your Majesty, I think the best and the only person who can plant this sheaf is you. Your Majesty, you're the only one left who has always spoken the truth. So why not plant the sheaf yourself?
I may have told a few lies when I was a kid, so I don't think I can.
Your Majesty, I was lying. The sheaf of gold is not a magical one. Neither was it gifted to me by a monk. I got it made from a jeweler in the city. Yes, Your Majesty, as you've realized, everyone sometimes has to lie. Not to deceive or hide a truth, but a lie could be spoken to avoid hurt or to avoid embarrassment or some other genuinely good intention.
I understand, Birbal. Please forgive me for punishing you for speaking the truth. And thank you for not cowing down, but standing up to me and making me realize my folly. You are a truly loyal friend, Birbal. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Majesty, for the honor you bestow on me. Thank you.
God has truly graced me with the most beautiful child in the world.
Emperor Akbar had the habit of traveling in disguise through his kingdom to gauge the moods of his subjects and keep tabs on the situations in his kingdom. Often, Birbal would travel with him. One day, "Welcome. Please have a seat. What would you like to have? You don't look like you are from around these parts."
You are right. We have traveled very far to come and see this city. We had heard a lot of things about your emperor. Is he a good emperor? Are you happy in his kingdom?
Oh, our emperor is truly a great one. He really takes care of his subjects. His policies are truly people friendly and we feel really safe in his kingdom.
But I had heard otherwise, that he levies very high taxes on his subjects and hence everything is very expensive in his kingdom and the poor really suffer.
I don't know where you heard all this nonsense. We are all very happy in the great Akbar's kingdom. His taxes are just and not high at all. Even the poor in this kingdom don't go to sleep on a hungry stomach.
I apologize on my friend's behalf. He didn't mean any disrespect to your emperor.
Yes, I apologize. Now tell us, what will you serve us to eat? We are very hungry.
Well, you can have whatever you want. And it's all on the house. Just don't go around spreading false rumors about our emperor.
Oh, thank you. I apologize once again. Please rest assured, we shall not be spreading any false rumors. Thank you once again.
Your Majesty, the young prince is so handsome. Yes, Your Majesty, our prince is certainly the most beautiful child in the world.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You are right. I haven't seen a more beautiful child.
Certainly, Your Majesty. I haven't seen a more beautiful child in my entire life. I'm sure once our dear prince grows up, he shall break many a heart.
I'm sure he will. God has truly graced me with the most beautiful child in the world. Birbal, what's wrong? You haven't said a word.
Nothing, Your Majesty. I'm sorry, but I was just a bit distracted.
Distracted? Aren't you mesmerized by the beauty of our prince? Or you don't think he's beautiful enough?
I apologize once again, Your Majesty. The prince is certainly a beautiful child.
Then I guess Birbal doesn't think he's the most beautiful child in the world?
Yes, Birbal. Go on, tell us. What do you truly think of our prince's beauty?
Your Majesty.
Go on, Birbal. Speak out your mind.
Well, Your Majesty, our prince is certainly a beautiful child, but
What but? Speak out.
Your Majesty, I really don't think the prince is the most beautiful child in the world.
Oh, there's a limit. Your Majesty, I think Birbal is just trying to be different from everybody.
Birbal, you better have an explanation why you don't think our prince is most beautiful when everyone is so enchanted.
Your Majesty, you got me wrong. I haven't said the prince is not beautiful at all. That he certainly is, but I don't think he is the most beautiful child in the world.
How can you say that, Your Majesty? All of us put together have seen more children than Birbal alone could have.
Yes, Birbal. How can you say that the prince is not the most beautiful child? Can you prove your statement?
If you insist, Your Majesty, then I can definitely prove it to you.
You mean to say that you can find a more beautiful child than our prince?
Yes, Your Majesty, I can.
You better be sure, Birbal. I shall not tolerate this insult to my beloved prince if you cannot prove it. You better find a more beautiful child and present him before my eyes. And until you do that, I don't wish to see you. You have made me very unhappy today.
I apologize for having upset you, Your Majesty, but you asked for my frank opinion, and I gave it to you. I shall definitely obey your command and find a more beautiful child than the prince, and only then shall I return before you.
This was truly an insult to you, Your Majesty. You were right in asking him not to show his face to you until he could really prove himself.
I always used to think that Birbal is a smart person. But this time he has really disappointed me.
Greetings, Your Majesty.
So, Birbal, have you given up? Are you ready to admit that the prince is the most beautiful child in the world?
Your Majesty, the reason I'm back to your court is I have found a child who is more beautiful than the prince.
Birbal, how can you say something like that? My child is the most beautiful one in the whole world. I refuse to believe that there is a more beautiful child anywhere.
There you are, Birbal. Nobody is willing to accept your claim.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but I do believe I have found the most beautiful child in the world.
Since you're so adamant, please prove it to us. Show us the child. Where is he? Have you brought him here with you?
I haven't brought him along with me, Your Majesty, but I can take you to see him.
This is ridiculous. Why can't the child be brought here? Why do we have to go to see the child?
My apologies, Your Majesty, but to truly appreciate the child's real beauty, you shall have to see him in his true natural surroundings.
I really don't understand this. But I'm willing to come along with you. In fact, we shall all come along. Tell us, when can we leave?
Your Majesty, it won't be possible for all of us to go together. But you and one more person can come along with me, and we shall have to travel incognito. Only then we would be able to really see the child in his natural surroundings.
Birbal, you are really trying my patience. But since you are so sure, both I and Sukhdev Singh shall come along with you in disguise. When do we leave?
Thank you, Your Majesty. We shall leave tomorrow morning.
Birbal, you have really pushed too far this time. The Emperor is not going to forgive you for this.
Sukhdev Singh ji, we'll see about that tomorrow morning. Your Majesty, we shall have to walk from here on.
All right, let's get on with it. I can't wait to see the most beautiful child you have found.
Your Majesty, there you are, the most beautiful child in the world.
Birbal, have you gone mad? Or are you blind? Where did you see beauty in this ugly child?
You scared my precious child? And how dare you call him ugly? He is the most beautiful child in this world. I will break your bones if you say anything otherwise. Get out of here. Don't you dare come near my child again. Have you gone blind calling my beautiful child ugly? How dare you say something like that? Get out of here. Oh, my beautiful baby, my little baby. Mwah. My sweetheart. Oh, my poor baby. So sweet.
Your Majesty, I'm sure you would have understood by now. Every parent feels their child is the most beautiful and precious in the whole world.
I get your point, Birbal. I get your point.
I didn't mean to offend you, Your Majesty. But I wouldn't want to just flatter you or the prince unnecessarily either. After all, you would have to teach the young prince to be aware of flatterers and flattery too.
Birbal, I'm very pleased. Once again you have shown courage by standing up to me and kept me from indulging in self-aggrandizement. You are a true and loyal friend. Thank you, Birbal.
Oh, my little one. My sweet baby. Oh, my poor baby. Oh, my little baby, the most beautiful child.
In Agra, there lived a businessman named Lala Karodimal. He was known to be a very shrewd businessman and a miser. He also happened to be Birbal's neighbor.
Lalaji, I need to buy some grocery. Please give me some money.
What do you need to buy?
Well, I need about 4 kilos of rice, another 4 kilos of pulses, some vegetables, and 3 kilos of flour. So I guess 1 gold mohar should be sufficient.
1 gold mohar? Are you crazy, woman? There's no need to spend so much on food. Buy only half of all these things.
Half? But these are all necessities. Do you want to go hungry?
No one has to go hungry. On the other hand, if you buy so much, we will overeat. And overeating is unhealthy. Oh! Now, what have you done, you little brat?
I was just playing. It's not my fault.
Playing in the kitchen? I will break your bones if you play here again. Now get out of here before you do some more damage.
Now I will need to buy 1 kilo of butter also.
Look, this son of yours is going to be the ruin of me. Just you wait and watch. Just the day before, he broke the divan in the sitting room. And now, this.
I have often told you to find a good teacher for Guddu, but you won't listen to me. He needs someone to discipline and educate him. If we leave him be, he is only going to get worse.
And so will my losses. But where do I find a good teacher?
Why don't you go and talk to our neighbor Raja Birbal? He is a wise man. I am sure he will be able to help us.
Yes, you're right. I think I will go to see him.
Sir, Lala Karodimal has come to see you.
All right, I'll be with him right away. Do offer him something in the meantime.
Lalaji, Raja Birbal says he will be with you right away. What can I get you, sir? Some refreshments?
No? Okay, yes. What do you have?
Lalaji, how nice of you to have dropped by.
Greetings, Raja Birbal.
Tell me, Lalaji, is everything all right? You look disturbed. May I be of any help to you?
Sir, it's regarding my son. He has become a nuisance. He is very indisciplined and keeps breaking things in the house. He is costing me a lot of money. We were hoping you could suggest a good teacher who would not only educate him, but also transform him from the spoilt brat that he is to a responsible person.
I think I know just the right person who can help you. His name is Vinayak. He is a highly educated young man and a very good teacher. I'm sure he'll be able to help you. Sevakram, could you please take this message to Vinayakji?
As you wish, sir.
Now look what you have done. It was my prized possession. I can't take this nonsense anymore. I will throw you out of the house.
Now what has he done?
He has broken the crystal lamp my mother gave me when we got married.
Please calm down. I assure you that in a few months, I will be able to transform your son to a completely different person.
Listen carefully. This is Vinayakji. He is your new teacher. You shall do as he says from now on. Guruji,
I will pay you 5 gold mohurs a month as dakshina. And since you are going to be here throughout the day, you can also have your lunch here. I hope it's all right with you.
That's all right with me, thank you. I shall start from tomorrow. Don't you worry about Guddu. He is my responsibility now. After 3 months.
It is such an improvement. He has become obedient and disciplined. It's like a whole new Guddu. All thanks to Guruji.
So it is such a relief. I thought I would have to put him up for adoption.
Then why have you not paid Guruji for the last 3 months? It is not fair after all that he has done.
Pay him? I provide him with a meal and he eats so much that he should be paying me instead. Have you seen the money I'm spending on food? I think I'm paying him more than he deserves for his services.
Is Raja Birbal at home? Yes, sir. Do come in.
Vinayak, it's a pleasure to see you. How have you been doing?
I am doing fine, sir.
Tell me, how are things? I hope you're not having any trouble with Lalaji's son?
No, sir. I am afraid it's Lalaji who is a problem.
Tell me what the problem is, Vinayak.
It's been 3 months since I have been teaching his son, and he hasn't paid me a penny.
He hasn't paid you, but why? Didn't you ask him for it?
I repeatedly did, sir, but he says that my meals make up for more than the fees and that I should be glad he hasn't asked me to pay him.
How's his son being doing?
He has improved tremendously, and even Lalaji is glad with the progress I have made. He is well-mannered and disciplined now.
Don't worry, Vinayak. I shall look into this and rest assured you'll be paid for your work.
Thank you, sir. I knew I could count on you.
Hello, Lalaji.
Greetings, Raja Birbal. Greetings.
I was around, thought I would drop in and see how your son is doing now.
Oh, he is doing very well, sir. He has become very disciplined and obedient.
That's nice to hear, Lalaji. So tell me, then why haven't you paid Vinayakji?
Sir, the deal was to pay him and provide him with a meal. But he has such an appetite that he has been eating worth more than what I promised to pay him.
I think you're right. In that case, I suggest you pay him his dues and ask him to discontinue immediately. If you continue with him, you'll keep incurring this loss every month. I know of another great teacher for your son. You wouldn't have to pay him a single penny. Neither would you have to provide any food to him either.
Oh, really? Very good. Please send the teacher over immediately. One who will not eat a morsel and not charge a penny has to be a great teacher indeed. As for Vinayakji, I don't feel like paying him, but since you asked me to, I shall.
Good. I will bring over the other teacher here tomorrow morning.
All right, sir, but I must confess, I am very excited about meeting this great teacher.
Lalaji,
Greetings, Raja Birbal.
I have brought the world's greatest teacher along with me. Here he is.
Teacher? But that's a statue.
This is Lord Buddha, the greatest teacher ever, and he will not eat a morsel, nor will he charge a penny as fees.
I understand, sir. I'm ashamed of what I have done. I will apologize to Guruji and call him back. This time I promise to pay him on time.
Very good, Lalaji. I'm happy that the greatest teacher has taught you a lesson.
Your Majesty, there's a trader from Persia who has a complaint and seeks audience.
All right, Man Singh ji. Please let him in.
Shamsher Singh, please enter the court.
Greetings, Your Majesty. Welcome. I hear you have come all the way from Persia. How do you like this country? Are you enjoying your stay here? What can I do for you?
My apologies, Your Majesty. It's my first trip here, but I really haven't been able to enjoy my stay in this country, as I'm nearly ruined if you don't help me.
Ruined? How? And why? Tell me, what's the problem?
Your Majesty, I'm a trader from Persia. I came to this country carrying goods worth 1,000 gold coins, including some precious woolens and handcrafted materials.
Sir, what is the problem? You are not getting the price you wanted for your goods? Yes, Indian merchants are very good at bargaining, I'm afraid.
No, Your Majesty, that's not what the problem is. I met up with an Indian merchant when I was leaving Persia, who was on his way back to India. He offered me the use of his mules, as he was returning after a successful trip to Persia, having sold off all his goods.
Yes, go on.
Your Majesty, after we reached Agra, this man refused to give me my goods and is now claiming them to be his. I don't know what to do. I have very little stuff left with me. I could probably sell them and get enough money to go back to my own country. But I will never be able to do business again unless I recover my goods or the money.
If what you say is true, I'm really ashamed of this dreadful act of betrayal by a person of my kingdom. But don't you worry. We shall sort this matter out. Tell us, who is this trader? Do you know where he stays?
Yes, Your Majesty. His name is Dilawar, and I can tell you where he stays.
Guards, go to the dress and escort this Dilawar to the court.
Greetings, Your Majesty.
Tell me, do you know this man?
Yes, Your Majesty, I know him. He is Shamsher Singh from Persia.
Oh, so you do know him. Why have you cheated this man out of his goods?
I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but that is not true. I haven't cheated him. The goods you speak about are mine. When I was leaving for Agra from Persia, this man came up to me and asked me if he could travel with me. He said he wanted to come and see our country and he didn't know the way. As I was returning from Persia with some goods I purchased there, I said yes.
No, Your Majesty, that's not true. He didn't have any goods with him. He told me he lost all his money gambling in Persia. He offered the use of his mules at a low cost to me, saying I would save money. Besides, he needed the money to get back to Agra.
No, that is a lie, Your Majesty. I merely escorted him to the country. The goods are mine. After we reached Agra, this man started threatening me, saying either I pay him or he would complain to you about me cheating him.
All right, enough. Shamsher Singh, if you claim the goods to be yours, then you can describe them to us. Can you not? If Dilawar is speaking the truth, then I don't think you can describe the goods.
Yes, Your Majesty.
No, Your Majesty.
What is this? Why won't you let this man describe the goods to me?
Your Majesty, during the journey to India, he expressed a lot of interest in the goods I was carrying and I showed him all the stuff. So of course he would be able to describe all the goods to you.
No, Your Majesty. It was the other way round. He was the one who showed lot of interest in my goods and I showed them to him.
Your Majesty, this man is lying. You could even ask my servant who came along with us. He won't lie for me in front of you.
No, Your Majesty. His servant will also lie. I am sure he has bribed his servant too. Your Majesty, I don't have any proof against this man, but I am speaking the truth. Now only you can help me out.
Birbal, I think only you could solve this problem now and help identify the real culprit.
Your Majesty, I can definitely identify the real culprit.
So, go on and do so. Let's resolve this matter right away.
Your Majesty, I need a little time though. I think I shall be able to tell you who the culprit is in a day or two.
All right, Birbal. If you feel you need that much time, then I guess we wait. In the meanwhile, Shamsher Singh, you can stay as our guest, but mind you, if you are the guilty one, then you shall be our guest for a long, long time in our prison.
I understand, Your Majesty.
As for you, you better be speaking the truth. Don't go out of the city until this matter is resolved.
Certainly, Your Majesty. I don't have anything to fear, as I have spoken only the truth.
Birbal, I wish you all the luck in finding the liar among these two.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I'm sure I shall have the answer for you in a day or two.
Where is Birbal? Hasn't he arrived yet?
Greetings, Your Majesty.
Birbal, where were you? And what have you done about Shamsher Singh? Have you been able to identify the truth?
Yes, Your Majesty. I know the truth now. I can prove who the liar is.
Oh, you can. Excellent. Tell us, who is the liar?
Your Majesty, Dilawar is the liar and the cheat, and Shamsher Singh is speaking the truth.
Dilawar? Oh, I thought he was speaking the truth as he's a merchant from Agra and has a shop here. Why would he need to cheat somebody? But how can you be so sure? How did you find out?
Your Majesty, yesterday evening, Man Singh and I went to Dilawar's shop and spotting his servant leaving the shop, followed him to a dhaba.
Welcome. What shall you like to eat? You seem to have travelled from far. Is this your first trip to Agra?
Yes, I'm a merchant from Jaipur. Actually, we've come looking for some Persian goods to sell back home. There is a good demand for them in Jaipur. Would you know of any place where we could get them?
Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry, but I heard you are looking for some Persian goods.
Yes, I am. Do you know of any place I can buy these goods from?
My name is Sukhiram, sir. I work with a very good trader. His name is Dilawar. In fact, he has just returned from Persia with some very good Persian materials.
I'm so lucky to have met you. Can we go to see the materials now?
Of course we can. Please come with me. Sir, if you could wait here a minute, I shall see if my master is free and then call you inside.
Sure. Please hurry up.
Master, I met a merchant from Jaipur at the dhaba. He wants to buy Persian goods.
Oh, good. Very good. Where is he?
They are waiting outside. Shall I call them in?
Of course. Hurry. Welcome.
We were told you have some Persian goods to sell.
Oh, yes. In fact, I have just returned from Persia with some very good stuff.
Then can we have a look at it, please?
Certainly. Please get all the material.
Well, how much do you want for all this material?
Well, you want all of it? In that case, I can give all of it to you for 1,000 gold mohurs.
My friend and I, we both feel the materials are not of the best quality. We've seen better. So we can only pay you half the price. 500 gold coins.
Half price? Not of the best quality?
In fact, my friend just noticed some defects in the materials too. So we shall now only pay you 300 gold coins for it. Take it or leave it.
Okay, alright. You can have it.
Fine, it's settled then. We shall come back tomorrow morning with the money and collect all this material.
I don't understand, Birbal. So how did you know that Dilawar is the liar?
Your Majesty, no merchant shall so quickly and eagerly accept the faults of his goods. Nor would he so drastically reduce the price of his goods. I knew immediately that the goods were not Dilawar's, and hence he was willing to settle for whatever price he could get for them.
You are right.
Once I knew for a fact that Dilawar is lying, we cornered the servant and threatened him with dire consequences if he lied. He then spilled his guts and is willing to testify here too about Dilawar's cheating.
Please send for both Shamsher Singh and Dilawar. You should be ashamed of yourself for cheating an honest man who tried to help you out. I sentence you to 1 year in prison, and you shall also pay 500 gold coins to Shamsher Singh as compensation for the anguish you have caused. Guards, take this man away from my sight.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Thank Birbal. He is the one who found out the truth about Dilawar in his own inimitable style.
Greetings, Your Majesty.
Yes? Who are you? And what is the problem?
Your Majesty, my name is Gopal Chand. I make and sell butter in the marketplace. About a month back, I lent some money to Chandumal, and now not only he refuses to pay it back, but denies he ever borrowed it.
Well, Chandumal, what do you have to say?
He's lying, Your Majesty. I never borrowed any money from him. He's just trying to tarnish my image and reputation to hurt my business.
Well, Birbal, do you want to look into this matter?
Yes, Your Majesty. Gopal Chand, now tell me exactly what happened.
Sir, one evening more than a month back, as I was about to close my shop for the day, Chandumal came to see me at my shop.
Good evening, Gopal Chand. How have you been doing?
Good evening, Chandumal. This is a pleasant surprise. How are you?
I'm doing fine, Gopal Chand, but I've come to ask you for a favor.
Of course. Tell me, what can I do for you?
Well, I need to buy some butter to prepare ghee and I'm running short of some money. I was hoping you could lend me 100 gold coins and I would pay you back in a month's time.
Sure. After all, if I needed help, I know I could count on you too. Here you are, Chandumal. 100 gold coins as you asked.
Thank you, Gopal Chand. You are a true friend.
And yesterday, when I went to ask him for the money, he not only refused to pay it, but also completely denied having ever borrowed it.
Now tell me your part of the story, Chandumal.
Sir, I used to consider Gopal Chand a good friend, and Gopal Chand would drop by my shop often.
Hello, Chandumal. How are you? And how is business going?
Hello, friend. How are you? Business is good by the grace of God. How is your business doing?
It's going just fine. Couldn't be better.
And then yesterday, out of the blue, he came to my shop and asked me to pay up 100 gold coins I supposedly borrowed from him a month ago. He's lying, Your Majesty. I never borrowed any money from him. He wants to tarnish my reputation to damage my business.
Do you have anyone who will stand witness to you having lent Chandumal the money, Gopal Chand?
I'm afraid not, sir. You see, when he borrowed the money, it was late in the evening and there was no one around.
Your Majesty, I will need a little time. It is obvious that one of them is lying. And we need to find out who that is.
All right, Birbal. You take your time. I'll leave this matter to you.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Sevak Ram,
Yes, sir.
Sevak Ram, I want you to go to the marketplace and find out more about both the butter traders, Chandumal and Gopal Chand.
As you wish, sir. Sir, it seems that though Gopal Chand and Chandumal are both competitors, people in the marketplace are more wary of dealing with Chandumal, whereas everyone is of the opinion that Gopal Chand is a very honest man.
Good, Sevak Ram. Now I need you to do something else. Go to the marketplace posing as a seller of butter and sell a pot each to both the traders. I have also put a gold coin in each of the pots. You will stay at a guest house in the marketplace for tonight and come back tomorrow and tell me which one of the traders returns the gold coin back.
As you wish, sir.
Well, Birbal, I believe you have figured out who the culprit is.
I certainly have, Your Majesty. It is Chandumal who is the liar.
Do let us know how you arrived at this conclusion, Birbal.
Your Majesty, and when Sevak Ram told me that it was Gopal Chand who returned the gold coin back, I had no doubt but to believe that it was Chandumal who has been lying.
Please forgive me, Your Majesty.
First you cheat the very friend who helps you in your need, and then you ask for forgiveness? You shall pay Gopal Chand the 100 gold coins that you owe, and another 100 gold coins for the anguish you have caused him.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
You must thank Birbal, who has made sure justice was done. Bravo, Birbal. Bravo.
Thank you, Raja Birbal. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Long live Akbar! Long live Birbal! Long live Akbar!